Greetings. Today's show is brought to you courtesy of Elon's uh, announcing that they're at their 1 millionth car and all the data flow that we can get from that. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Wanted to thank our Patreon supporters once again. We're on the road, sort of managing some small and large challenges in the process of getting our show out today. Um, we're in the Detroit area. We're going to head over to Monroe Associates today for a show, but wanted to get my trade blast out nonetheless. So I was kind of shocked. Part of the reason I'm in Detroit is that one of my viewers, um, they've sort of taken some of the things that we've been teaching about trading techniques, etc. And one lady actually took $6,000 to $500,000 in about 3.5, 4 weeks, or I think it might be in the 4 to 5 week zone, but you get my drift. A huge ROI, and the way she did it was by messing with weeklies successfully in terms of both the puts and call sides along the lines of the discussions we've been having previously. So I think I'm going to put this to the side and just focus on my trade blast for today. And if anybody is interested in really diving into what happened, how she did it, why, we'd be happy to kind of go back through it with her and kind of interviewing her this evening. I don't think she'll come on camera, but I can give you the details. So what I wanted to cover today is that um, basically we've been in a disaster zone relative to Tesla. We didn't expect there to be any news that we could work off of to analyze Tesla. Hence, it was really riding what was happening to the rest of the market, which is a heavy down. So what happened is that Elon tweeted that this was their millionth car and showed a Model Y and with photos, and I think we'll make that the thumbnail. The issue with this is that what it did was, if you compare some numbers, the folks at Electrek were saying that what this implies is that Tesla is at a production rate of 40,000 vehicles per month. And if you do 40,000 vehicles a month times 12 months, that was kind of the implied number of vehicles that would be produced in a year. And evidently that number would be attractive to the marketplace in general. I kind of looked at their numbers and I thought that the general idea of Tesla is doing fine and there's a good reason why the stock price should be doing well. That was solid. The concern I had with their process is that it really it sort of didn't fly, and the reason it didn't fly is that um, in the last quarter, which is so let's say the last 3 months of the year, Tesla in that quarter did 112,000 vehicles. Divide 112 by 3, and you get 37,330 vehicles. So that was produced in the last quarter. The prior quarter, they did 97,000 vehicles, and you can divide that by 3 to figure out um, what the monthly rate of production is. So why this is big is that Electrek's theory is that, yeah, hey, those guys are doing 40,000 a month or 40,000 a month, etc. Why I want to sort of play with this number is that it's really valuable to understand in general what Tesla's production run is right now, because it'll start to give us a preview on what earnings will be, and that's why we believe the stock is up. So basically, what we're forecasting is take the, call it 40,000 vehicles that Tesla's producing before China, add in about 2,000, 2,500 of vehicles a week coming out of China's factories or the Shanghai factory, and this, call it 10,000 vehicles plus 40,000. The run rate right now is something like 50,000 vehicles a month, and we're doing that for 2 of the 3 months, so the trend is actually quite good. What this is kind of reviewing is the fact that everything about the market is saying that no company can avoid getting smashed by the situation that oil has generated. And what we're suggesting here, based on the numbers Tesla's articulating, is they're having no problems producing and selling. And there's no seasonality issues, etc. So the marketplace was like, yeah, Tesla's doing fine. That's why the stock isn't down more. But we ain't got no numbers to work off of. So we're assuming that they're doing badly as a result. And clearly, this announcement and then the implied numbers from it are a suggestion of what the earnings numbers are going to look like coming out with the finish of production this month of March. So I wanted to sort of review this with you guys because we're sort of entering the 3-day rule on that new information. And so this is giving Tesla a pop today of approximately, call it $70, maybe 80 on the open. And it should result in a strong day for Tesla, given that the market is strong as well with the Trump news possibly on a payroll tax reduction. The issue, though, that we haven't figured out, and I think that's a trading challenge, is what's going to happen for the rest of the week, because basically the 3-day rule relative to the announcement on oil prices is going to start hitting from an institutional standpoint tomorrow, which is Wednesday, into Thursday. And then Tesla's announcement overnight about the million vehicles and what their production run is going to be on a 3-day rule starting today and sort of really hitting Thursday, Friday of this week. And it looks like, there's 2 3-day rules that are battling each other. And so this is kind of an interesting new dynamic. And the question is kind of what's going to happen. I have to say this is a complete guess, but I actually think what's going to happen is that people are going to start throwing in the towel on the oil stocks. And then they're going to say, is there some place I can put my money that's going to help me make up for some of the losses taken in the oil space? And I think the answer to that is that 3-day rule hits Tesla well. The real question mark that I don't know, though, is will the market crash based on the nightmare in the oil space while Tesla's trying to take off and sort of blunt, if not eliminate, all of the potential bump that Tesla should get from this really good news. And so I think it's not an easy trading environment because of the conflicting pieces of data, but we wanted you to sort of understand in general what the logic point was. So pretty much, let's put it this way, if the market was neutral or up and it stayed that way for multiple days and Tesla got its normal 3-day rule, we all know that's a 100 to 200 point upward move of the stock. And will this happen? If the market mellows out and just goes laterally or slightly down or slightly up, I think it actually could, but given the craziness that's going on right now, it's hard to tell, what's going to occur. I do think that there's a 3-day rule that's going to hit relative to the oil companies because there are a lot of people who are exposed there. They're going to have to get out. And they're going to use, after analyst reports starting tomorrow to start to do that. And I think that them getting out, unfortunately, kicks the teeth out or the legs out from underneath the market. So a lot of conflicting data. Tesla's doing great. I'm hopeful that the market holds up enough so Tesla can take off based on good information that allows folks to trade and profitably move forward. So that's sort of the core logic. I would say that, there are obviously multiple days that are key here. Number one, 3 days after the quarter is over is when Tesla announces the number of vehicles produced for the quarter. That's coming up the third day of April. The second issue is obviously when earnings come out. I guess third week of April is what it did last year. So ballpark, that's about when it's going to come as well. Another huge trading day, trading situation, a few days before, a few days afterwards. I'd have to say congratulations to Tesla and the whole team because they're pushing good numbers despite the virus. Also wanted to shout out to Tesla regarding the new coronavirus delivery process and test drives where they can actually open the car, allow people to get in and start driving to test drive the vehicle without having to have contact with a Tesla employee, reducing the chance of infection either way. And so they quickly built a program to allow this to occur, and kudos to the folks at Tesla for doing so. So it was pointed out that they're doing these virtual test drives where the Tesla employee doesn't have to be there. They're also doing deliveries to people's homes so they don't have to have contact with large crowds. especially if they're homebound and they want to take delivery of their vehicles. So again, credit to Tesla for being creative in process and keeping vehicles moving and sold as they come out of the factory. Also, other piece of data was that they're going to a second shift in the factory. All these good news relative to the number of vehicles that can be produced. So again, congratulations to the Tesla folks for doing everything they can to get product moving. And we look forward to some great numbers coming out from the earnings standpoint, exceeding expectation of analysts who are now going to have to adjust upward given how well things are going for Tesla despite the larger market getting smashed. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight with our Trade Blast for today. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to our Monroe and Associates show today. Have a great day. Bye for now.